Well, there it is, you guys. There it is right there. Democrats, when given the chance and opportunity, they will always prove to you who they are. That's right. Democrats will never, and I mean never, miss the opportunity to let you know how racist they are and how racially divisive or divisive they are. Here is this lady, Democrat lawmaker. I covered her before. I made a video a few weeks ago. Jasmine Crockett, that's her name. That's the same chick in Congress. I believe she represents Texas. She was in a committee hearing and she was giving everybody a speech about what it means to be oppressed. Yeah, she made the slavery statement, right? So now here she is again making headlines. Now she's saying, this is Jasmine Crockett, right? She's a U.S. representative, a Democrat U.S. representative out of Texas, says that Latino Trump supporters have slave mentality. I gotta laugh again. I keep saying this is all they got. A Democrat will not talk to you if they cannot cry and bitch and moan about how racist this country is. They've had tremendous opportunities. A lot of them became lawyers. A lot of them are doctors. A lot of them are movie stars. Remember the chick that didn't want to stand up for the national anthem and ended up being arrested in Russia? And then guess who had to bail her out? The government, right? And so that's how not only they're the racists, right? They're always pointing the finger how everybody, Republicans, white people, now it's black men, it's Latinos, everybody's racist but Democrats. I just want to show how ridiculous these people are. That I keep saying it to you guys. This is what I set out to do. When I created this page, when I created this whole media thing around the status quo, that's why it's called the Status Quo Headlines, right? It's called the Status Quo Podcast, so that I can talk and point out the hypocrisy of the status quo. So this page has done very well just in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, and I've gotten so many likes, so many followers, and I'm grateful because these are topics that are relevant, shouldn't be just relevant to older people, but also younger people. And because I had been in the New York City Department of Education for almost 10 years, and the children that I was teaching, like teenagers, like that were becoming adults, these were young adolescents. They didn't know anything about politics except for what their parents told them, which was nothing, which was what their teachers were indoctrinating into them. Donald Trump is racist. Donald Trump is a sexist. Don't vote Donald Trump. Don't support Donald Trump. Matter of fact, don't even talk about Donald Trump. That's what you get. They brainwash these kids in these cities. Whether it be Houston, whether it be Chicago, New York, they brainwash our children in these democratic strongholds. That's what they are, strongholds. I was telling someone the other day, who runs these cities? Who's the mayor of New York? Eric Adams, a Democrat. Who's the governor of New York? Kathy Hochul, a Democrat. Who was the governor before that? Who was the mayor before Adams? Before Adams, de Blasio had run New York City into the ground. It didn't just start with Adams. I'm critical of Adams now because I wouldn't say so much worse. Like, he's a better person, but he's a dumb politician. That's right. Eric Adams is an idiotic politician, not a politician at all. I guess he always aspired to run the city, but the only place you've run the city, Eric, is into the damn ground. So that's another video. That's the video I'm gonna work on next. So I kind of went on a little rant there, but the point I was making was Democrats, they know what it is. Democrats know that if you don't agree with them, I keep saying this, right, guys? Those of you who follow me so far, who've been watching my videos consistently, that's all they have. That's what they have to run on. And that's why you see what happened with the campaign a few months ago. Kamala crashed. She crashed and burned. Because once the lies are exposed, once people were like, wait, what? So and so is not racist. This person is not that, is not what you're painting them to be. It's a lot with Democrats, it's a lot of character assassination to make you feel bad, to guilt you. And this guy said to me the other day, oh, so now Trump is president, all these people are going to get sent back home. Or what about amnesty? Dude, do you understand that amnesty is there for a purpose? Amnesty is there for a handful of people who have been politically persecuted. They fled their country because of said political oppression, right? Harassment or even murder. Some people, I come from a country where they were murdering my family members because we didn't agree with the dictator at the time. People who know the history of Haiti will tell you, first Papa Doc killed all his enemies. Whether you were his enemies or not, if you didn't agree with him, they would off you. And that's the democratic mindset. They're not out here killing their opponents, but in a way, like you just want to destroy them. You want to tear people down just because you're in power, just because they don't agree with you, just because you just got your ass kicked really bad. An embarrassment of a defeat. Didn't win not one swing state. But then she's going to make a comeback in 2028. Hey, I don't mind. This is going to be more content for me. It just means that I'm going to be doing this job for the next 4 to 8 years. Clowning you Democrats, because everything you do is backwards. Democrat lawmaker, this Jasmine Crockett, full of crock of shit. She says Latino, she's not attacking blacks now. She has many times, but she got on Latinos now. And I think in a way that's very disrespectful. Like, you're not from that group, that racial group. And for you to have the audacity to make accusations about that said ethnic group, I think that's racist. That's prejudice. Who are you? Who gives you the authority to say, well, all white men are X, Y, and Z. All black people, this is me. I don't do it. I don't get into it. The race thing. I have white friends who are more about the cause, if you know what I mean, than my black friends or even Latino or Asian friends who are about the cause. What does that tell you about skin color? Division. Why do people play this game? It's really dangerous, it's nasty, and it's just not right to use people to bait people into this race thing that you love to put people in. Why do you guys have to do that? So she goes on to say, Representative Jasmine Crockett, D. Texas, accused many Hispanic voters of having a slave mentality for supporting President-elect Donald Trump. This is her statement. That is my distilled summary of what happens within the Latino community. Says who, Jasmine? Says you? Who knows Latinos? You know Latinos better than Latino men knows themselves? Is that what you're trying to tell me? They have a slave mentality in the Latino community, Crockett told Vanity Fair. And that's the other thing. Vanity Fair, this, all these liberal outlets, they're here just to promote race baiting. Race baiting. That's all it is race baiting. I've not run into that with the Asian community. See? Pitting one community against another community. Just so disgusting. It's terrible. It's terrible that I'm even doing this to show you how disgusting people are. And this is somebody you voted for to represent your district in the Lone Star State. I've not run into that with the African American community. That's bullshit, because a few weeks ago you was complaining how black men were misogynist and sexist. So I'm sure in your mind you think they're racist too. You just can't say it because it would sound dumb. Just like accusing people of being sexist and misogynist and racist. Same thing. They're all the same thing. It's a bunch of isms. It's a bunch of derogatory trigger words thrown in a basket, and you guys just throw it at the wall and just hope that it sticks. But people are tired. People are tired of y'all, man. Stop supporting. Don't donate. Don't go to their rallies. Just shut these people down. You guys are so famous on the left for canceling people. How about this? 2025, let's cancel Democrat politicians who sit there all day on our taxpayer dollars and pushing racism down our throats. That's what we're going to do for 2025. We're going to do a cancel campaign on Democrat leaders who push race in order to fill their coffers and make a pretty penny off our taxes. That's what we're going to do. Because this is outrageous. This is getting out of control. I've not run into that with the Caribbean community until, of course, she finds out that a large group of the Caribbean community went for Trump. Give her those statistics of how many Caribbean Americans supported Trump, including myself. Haitian Americans, Jamaican Americans, Trinidad Americans, other people from the surrounding communities in the Caribbean. Guess what, Jasmine? You're ignorant because they supported Trump, right? A lot of these people are older people who came here to this country, busted their butts, and they worked 30 years, 40 years, and they got their little retirement going. They paid into their Social Security. They have their little 401ks, and they have their children whom have become professionals, and their children are also helping them. They're retired, and they saw that their Social Security were in jeopardy, and then they say, you know, Trump is making sense. Trump is actually going to save Social Security, because you know what? Throughout the whole campaign for the past 2 years, what has Trump been talking about? Social Security, the economy, retirement age, minimum wage, living wages, affordability, rent, food, buying groceries. That's what Trump was talking about. So guess what, Jazz? Those people you're talking about in the Caribbean community, they voted for Donald Trump. Newsflash. I've only run into it with Hispanics. Where my Hispanic followers? Holla at your boy. Only Hispanics have a slave mentality, Jasmine. Wow, from Texas too? Whoo. Not only are Democrats dumb, they just don't get it. How are you from a state that has a predominantly large Hispanic community, right? So that means her voting bloc, the amount of voters in her community, in her district, has to be a large percentage. But here she is attacking that same voting bloc. How do you explain that? How do you even begin to tell people, like, what is this woman talking about? Who says that? Even if you're thinking it, Jasmine Crockett. Somebody please make sure she sees this video. You're not making sense. It's like her mouth is like she's a ticking time bomb. Like anything that comes out of her mouth has to do with racism, race, politics of racism, politics of skin color, politics of division, politics of divide and conquer. In this community here, I'm going to keep them away by making an argument that will have them clashing and arguing. When they think of illegals, they think of, you know, maybe people that came out of the cartels and that kind of like the criminal type book or whatever. It's insane, she says, end quote. She don't even know what she's talking about. She's like, maybe that came out of the cartels and that kind of like, I'm not even going to break that down because that's just ignorant. That's just stupid. So Hispanics believe that illegal immigrants are only people who are criminals who come from cartels. That's a lie. That's a bold-faced lie. It doesn't make sense. It's stupid. There's no reasoning behind it. It doesn't make sense. It doesn't add up. And this is an educated woman with a law degree. She has a degree in jurisprudence. Jasmine Crockett. She's a congresswoman who I believe prior to running for Congress supposedly had her own law practice. So this is not a dumb person, even though I call her dumb for what comes out of her mouth. But when you look at her stats, you look at her background, she went to a private school, I believe, supposedly educated. But this is the trash that's coming out of your mouth. And she's like, oh, it's insane. How is it insane? That Hispanics think that illegals are only criminals, cartels? It almost reminds me of what people would talk about when they would talk about kind of like slave mentality, gaslighting, triggering, and the hate that some slaves would have for themselves. She continued, it's almost like a slave mentality that they have. It is wild to me when I hear how anti-immigrant they are as immigrants. Ooh, Jasmine. So this is just a this is a hit piece, man. I would read the articles before I do the video, but I'm reading the article as I'm doing the video, so it's just shocking. It's shocking to me. Imagine somebody white from the other side of the aisle comes out and says, imagine Donald Trump, J.D. Vance, Elon Musk, who else? Tulsi Gabbard. One of the more popular and well-known, well-achieved Republicans now. Imagine they came out and made that statement, Jasmine. Imagine the outcry that would befall this person, this public figure, this politician. Not just politician, any public figure, anybody in the in the world of media, television, news media, entertainment, sports, came out and says, you know what? You know, black people, they only do this. They only voted for Trump because they have the slave mindset. They hate themselves. Imagine somebody white of European descent making those statements. So Jasmine Crockett gets a pass because of her skin color. So she's allowed to say that. Not about her own community, but about somebody else's community. Where's the outcry? Where's the cancel culture when you need it? That's not offensive. That's not derogatory. That's not beyond what should be accepted as political correctness. So Jasmine Crockett gets to make a statement with no repercussions, no consequences, no protest of any kind. And that's what they do. They get away with it. So it says, okay, well, I just pushed the envelope with this statement. Let me say something even crazier. Just like Hillary the other day. I'm about to get to Hillary. We're getting down to it today. Merry Christmas, by the way, y'all. It's unacceptable. Cancel these people. They're not relevant. And there's no way in hell this lady should be representing anybody in Congress. Wait till you find out with the real Latinos, the real Hispanics. Wait till this shit gets to their ears. And you'll see the political, You'll see the political drama that will unfold. And I bet you, mark my words, December 25th, 2024, Christmas Day, right? I wouldn't be surprised if Jasmine Crockett doesn't make it back to the next Congress. Merry Christmas, y'all. Happy holidays. Happy Kwanzaa. Happy Hanukkah. Happy everything that you love and celebrate and is part of your life. Enjoy. Be safe. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.